gentlemen, the star of Politically Incorrect, Bill Maher.
Thank you very much. All righty, thank you. And welcome to our post-debate show. Thank you for staying awake. Let us meet our panel. She is the editor of the website popandpolitics.com and the author of, this is it right here, The Color of Our Future. Faraj, Chideya. Faraj. One of my faves. How are you? Good to see you. Okay, a former executive director of the Christian Coalition, my old job. He's the director of Republican Affairs for Voter.com. Randy Tate. Randy, there you are.
Good to see you again.
Thank you for coming. A distinguished film actor and one of the fine stars of the big hit Everybody Loves Raymond, Mondays at 9 on another network like you couldn't guess which one. Peter Boyle is right over here. Peter Boyle. That's the UPN you're on, isn't it? You've got it, yeah. And she, of course, is one of the brightest lights of country music. Her CD is the Judd's Reunion Live. Her book is called Guardian Angels. Naomi Judd is here. How are you, sugar? How are you? All right. So, did you watch the debate?
Absolutely.
Only because you paid us. We watched the new Al Gore. I mean, last time it was Attack Al. This time it's the new Reformed Al. You know,
actually,
just trying to hold back every step.
I went into this campaign, true story, with an open mind and a clean slate. And true story.
Really?
Yes. I'm an independent, and tonight absolutely solidified it for me. My head agrees with all the issues that Bush claims, and my heart agrees with his credibility, his authenticity, his sincerity, and his integrity.
Well, if your heart's where your head is. Well, his authenticity, I have to agree. I think George Bush won the debate tonight. But that's just technique.
Tyranny of low expectations. You know, yeah, can I get an amen? Can I get an amen? I mean, it's like if you've got someone who you expect to basically fall crossing the street and he successfully gets to the other side, then, you know...
Well, wait a minute. He had consecutive terms as governor of the state of Texas, two back-to-back terms.
Right, but could we just say...
wise man.
It's impressive in that it hasn't been done in the state of Texas before.
Right,
the first
his father was president.
Right, but could I just point out one thing? The vice president did say that he had some of the worst health care record in the country, that he was 50th in the state in terms of insurance for families. Yes, that is correct. Secondly, when we talk about the CHIP program for children, not only did he, not enforce that law, he actually opposed that. It was Democratic lawmakers who arm-twisted him, and he only grudgingly passed a law insuring children.
That's not true. We have 43.1 million people who are uninsured in this country right now.
That's true, too.
So what has Gore been doing for 8 years?
Well, he's not the president, first of all. He goes to funerals. He's the vice president. Okay, so you can't... it amazes me that Al Gore, and I'm not for Al Gore either, I hate him too, but he gets blamed for Clinton. But I shocked you? And yet... Yes,
this may be the last election where the pretense that the vice president is the vice president continues, because the vice presidents may now run everything, and the Gore and Bush may be like the cuties. Right. The hotties who are on camera get the close-ups, but really the vice presidents are calling the shots.
Yeah. Well, let me quote what Gore because I wrote a few things down from what I was listening to. You're right. Gore pinned him down on the fact that Texas is 49th and 50th in health care. And here's Bush's response. You can quote all the numbers you want, but we care about our people in Texas. Okay,
well,
that's what you can quote all the numbers you want. Oh, sure, facts.
Fuzzy
Bill, look it. Al Gore has been supposedly the best vice president we've ever had, according to him and Bill Clinton, the most active. He's been there for 8 years. The number of uninsured have gone up. The number of uninsured in Texas have gone down at that same time. Second point, the people that know Al Gore best in Tennessee, he's losing in the polls in Tennessee. George W. Bush is winning 2-1 in the state of Texas. The people that know these candidates best are supporting those candidates.
I'm from Gore's home state of Tennessee, and we're definitely a Bush state. Also, on the environment, right now we've got a whole thing.
I got to go there. I try to spend all my time in Bush states. But, I know you mentioned his integrity, and this always bothers me, that Bush's integrity is somehow off limits to talk about. His campaign commercial, which ran out here for seemingly months when he was running in the primary, said, "You can argue with me about the issues, but don't question my integrity.
Or I'll kill you."
Yeah.
With a gun.
I mean, why would his integrity, of all people's integrity, be so off limits?
You know,
He's a politician and an oil man. Gee, those are two areas where I'd never question integrity.
Well, intuition is when your gut gets it before your head gets around to figuring it out. And like I said, I sat down and looked at all the issues, I mean, by the numbers. And I feel like Bush is a wise man. I think he has experience.
A wise man?
I think he's a wise man. I think he's a listener. I think he's a gentleman. I think he has a true spirit. I think he's a spiritual man.
I think he's a better actor than I thought.
I also felt my heart and my gut. In my gut, my intuition tells me that he's genuine.
Do you believe global warming is real?
I'm connected with a union of concerned scientists. A friend of mine who won the Nobel Prize.
They had a disco hit in the 70s, didn't they?
Look, a friend of mine, Henry Kendall at MIT, who won the Nobel Prize in Physics, started it. And I'm very familiar with global warming, but I have to tell you that Al Gore needs to be paying attention in the state of Tennessee. We now have all of our people losing their ancestral farms in our county because they're putting in a highway that nobody wants that is destroying all of our...
What I'm talking about is the sky is burning.
So really, ice cap is melting.
And
where is Gore in his home? Where is Gore right now? We're fighting 840.
I don't care about
in his
ancestral
backyard.
farms. I care about the sky opening up and killing me. And Bush tonight said, I'm not going to let the U.S. take the lead in cleaning up the world's air. And he says, science about global warming, there's a lot of different opinions. Now, that's a lie bought by oil companies who have given him all his money. I mean, there is not a difference of opinion on global warming. Most scientists, almost all of them, agree it's already a problem.
I think the issue is...
To me, that's not integrity.
Two issues here, Bill. One, integrity does matter. Al Gore has a $500,000 investment in Occidental Petroleum. One, he's an oil person.
$500,000? This guy has like a...
Let's finish this point.
What do you mean?
And second...
He didn't invest in it himself.
Right.
This is a computer program did it.
Right, and let's just point out that Dick Cheney, who's the #2 on the ticket, just got, what, $20 million payout from
on the issue of the environment, Al Gore suggested a 50-cent increase in the gas tax.
He's worse. I agree.
This is the guy who said he took credit for creating the Oil Petroleum Initiative. He wasn't even in office then.
At least the other guys are honest about being phony. You're right. That's why I hate Al Gore, too, because he didn't stand up and go, you know what?
Bill, you're the guy that said on your show that it doesn't matter when you lie about Bill Clinton because it's only about sex. Now we're talking about policy and you're saying it doesn't matter. Where does it end? I mean, on the issue of lying on
I'm not saying it doesn't lie. I'm saying it does matter.
It does matter.
I'm saying it doesn't matter about sex. It does matter about global warming.
And it does matter about policy. When you take credit for things you didn't do, that undermines the other issues that you make. I think it does matter.
All right. Well, we'll get into that, but we got to take a commercial. Thank God Al Gore wore less makeup this time, but it was obvious he was still after the women's vote because when he got up to leave, I could see he had stuffed a sock in his pants. So I don't know. All right. We were, of course, watching the debate here tonight, and for those of you who missed it, there were some highlights, and, well, I don't know if highlights is the right word, but this I think we should show. This bears some watching. I think everybody should see this little bit.
Our ability to serve as an honest broker is something that we need to shepherd.
Governor? Well, I think during the campaign, particularly now during this difficult period, we ought to be speaking with one voice, and I appreciate the way the administration has worked hard to calm the tensions.
Nobody out for Piazza, and he hits a ball fair past third and down toward the corner.
Oh, that's right. Even we switched over to the baseball game. God, I feel bad about that. But we started talking about Gore's lying, and Gore is an incredible liar. He is. But,
I don't think he's a liar at all.
Oh, I have
He's making a point.
Oh, no.
And he has a lot of imagination. He's creative. and he said, I wanted to be on that plane with that guy.
Yeah.
And then he believes it. But he would have been there if he could have been there.
Wait.
But isn't that lying?
No, wait. There's a simple explanation. Gore is the guy in the back of the class who was really geeky, who wanted to be liked. He's trying to warm himself up for the American public. Now,
you're right.
No, look, the reality is American politics is about style over substance. Bush, for whatever reason, people like him. It's about style over substance. Gore is wooden. He really is. I had the opportunity to interview 3 of the 4 presidential candidates. Bush, for whatever reason, maybe because I'm a little mean, didn't grant me an interview. He faxed me back some questions. I think Condoleezza wrote the answers, but we'll avoid that for now. But I got the opportunity to go with Gore on Air Force 2. I interviewed him in person. He's wooden. He's wooden, but he's a policy wonk. He knows his stuff. And these little anecdotes, these little anecdotes are meant to warm him up.
Yeah. But they're not.
He wants to be our friend, but sometimes he gets confused because
he's saying, hi, I'm real, I have an imagination.
I agree with you that his lying is rooted in pandering.
Oh.
It's true. It's like, it is. That's why he lies. He doesn't lie from as a nefarious reason as Bush.
That's worse than Bush, basically trying to be your friend but not having anything to say.
What does he benefit from the lie, though? Who cares whether he was on that plane or not?
Sad.
So he's not a liar. He's just a kid that wants a little love. He just, he wants somebody to choose him for the baseball game, and to choose up sides and everything.
I think the fib factor is a problem. I mean, he has been a serial exaggerator. It does matter on the small things, Bill, because, look, if you're going to sit down and meet with foreign leaders, they got to trust your opinion. You're going to sit and meet with members of Congress.
Have you met some of these foreign leaders?
Yeah, well,
I mean, come on.
Can you name some of them?
My favorite foreign leader, who's no longer a foreign leader, is the best-looking foreign leader, Benazir Bhutto.
We talked about this one. Wow.
Wow.
I don't care about foreign leaders. I don't care about foreign leaders. I want someone to tell me the truth about my kids' education, about prayer in school, about partial abortion, about Medicare, about my Social Security. And the truth is the truth is the truth. You're either pregnant or you're not pregnant. Something's either sterile or it's not sterile.
Well, no. I mean,
this is not lie-telling. This is not Richard Nixon lie-telling.
When we get back to the truth, let's get back to the, I talked about the child's health insurance, but there was also the issue of the James Byrd case. Not only did he not sign that hate crimes bill in Texas, the daughter of the man who was killed went and petitioned him, tried to get into his office and said, will you sign this hate crimes bill on behalf of my father who was dragged to death? And he was just cold-hearted.
I disagree with you.
He gave the 3 thugs, as he called them, the death penalty.
No, wait.
Yeah, but he said
he was wrong about that. Not all 3 of them got the death penalty. Want to talk about an exaggeration? That was an exaggeration. One got life. Are you going to
But at the end of the day, all crime is hate. You take somebody's life, it's hate.
I'm with them on
somebody's property, it's hate.
some of it's greed. Some of it's greed. Wait a minute. Some of it's greed.
But a hate crime is thought crime.
Yeah.
A crime should be a crime. You kill somebody, that's it. You don't need to ask why. I don't care what was going on in their head.
But they killed one guy and he killed 3 of them. I mean, and also then he said,
Who killed one guy?
The death penalty. The death penalty.
Well,
I mean, it's like one of your guys
killed so many people with the death penalty that.
But did you know that in the state of Texas, violent crime is down 40%?
Yeah, but they can still
I think
carry a
that's
concealed
probably
weapon.
because the economy is better,
That's true.
which might be because of you-know-who with the you-know-what. when the economy goes up, less people are desperate with guns to rob you.
No, I think that does have an impact, but also in Texas, they know that if you commit a crime, you're actually going to do time, and there's enforcement of the laws. That makes a difference. People are held accountable.
Oh, like before in Texas.
People, when they know that there are consequences for their actions, respond to those.
The death penalty has never been shown to correlate with a decrease in crime.
Yeah,
As a matter of fact, in some states with the death penalty, the crime rate is going up.
No, I mean,
the murder rate's going up.
Yeah, one, the death penalty, yes, I believe is a deterrent, but even more importantly, someone who takes someone's life premeditated, I think should pay the ultimate price. They've taken life. Life should be so precious that those that take it should be held accountable.
I don't disagree with that.
I think people should watch this commercial. That's what I think. The debate was about foreign affairs. Bush was asked how he felt about Rwanda and Somalia. And he said, from what he remembers, they were more than just housekeepers, they were family. Which you were talking about, you got your gut feeling about George Bush. Okay, this is the current Elle, a magazine I love, by the way. Single gals like me get our information from there. Okay, now Erica Jong, one of our favorite guests here and one of the progenitors of the feminist movement, she wrote this article very tough on her own gender. She says women who like Bush more than any other candidate since Reagan are doing it. She says women's penchant for voting with their hormones rather than their brains explains their weakness for Bush. She said we keep voting cute instead of smart. Now this is Erica Jong talking, not me.
Well, I went by the issues first. That's interesting. I went totally by the issues first.
Right.
And then I started watching him, and both resonated. Like I said, intuition is when your gut gets it before your head gets around to figuring it out. In my case, my head agreed with his platform before I internally...
I think women like him because they want one thing in a man, to feel that he would kill to protect them.
And he kills a lot.
Yeah.
But,
you know, how far would you go? It was just like in what the heck, it was Goodfellas, you know, when the girl lives next door to the mobster and he beats up the guy who insults her. Women, I mean, that scores.
But could we just...
I love you.
Could we just say this is not just a gender thing? I think that men are the ones who are overwhelmingly in support of Bush, and I think that for them, it's this sort of Marlboro Man fantasy. They think, first of all, that he's a Texan, which he's sort of a hybrid East Coast, West Coast guy. He is still...
No, his father was that. He was raised in Texas.
Yes, he was.
No, but he still has some of those, you know, Yaley, you know, type. He's a legacy boy who's got, you know, he's still a hybrid East Coast, West Coast.
He strikes me as a Texan.
No, he's never
gone back since he's
You know, he strikes me as the kind of guy who I'd like to party with.
But what I'm saying,
I don't want to vote for him, but I bet you he was a great partier.
No, but I'm saying he does have that, you know, men identify with him as this sort of like, you know, Texan, Marlboro Man, strong guy that they wish they were. And I think that it's not just a gender thing. It is.
I don't know why he has that reputation.
Well, this is an interesting fact, which I don't know the exact details of it, but you know George Bush and his father were related to the royal family of England.
That doesn't surprise me.
Which may be why people react to it. He may have the royal gene.
Look, I mean, yeah.
So it may be a genetic thing that we inherently sense.
Well, they act like they're the royal family.
Exactly.
That doesn't surprise me. That's what my point about, like, don't question my integrity. Why? Why you, of all people? Who are you, Gandhi? Don't question my integrity. You're running for president. You're a politician. You lie as much as... He lies as much as the other guy.
I disagree.
Oh, he does.
I disagree. I mean, Gore said 2 days ago in public that he wasn't going to slam Bush. Did you see the ad that came out yesterday?
Well, Bush called
McCain each other.
It lasted about an hour.
I mean,
the I'm not going to be the attack dog out. I mean, but back on the issue of women.
You're not really...
Yeah, women are, all Americans are turned off by that, and men and women care about the same issues.
No,
they don't. Yes, they do. I mean, they care about good education.
The warm-up guy
care about
just
safe
said,
neighborhoods. They
how many believe in the soulmate concept? Everyone who applauded was a woman. I watched. They don't care about the same issues. I have to take a commercial. We'll be right back. Okay, we had been talking about the differing variations of lies that the candidates tell. But Al Gore's type of lie, you know who told that first type of lie? Reagan. Remember he said, I've liberated the concentration camps? Remember that? And he never left the country during the war. That was an Al Gore type of life.
And I bet he was your hero.
Okay, here are your products. Tomorrow we have Bruce Davison, John Lydon, Bill Engvall, and Melissa Musco.